Padma Purana. Sri Krishna's Queens. Continuing with the divine tales of Sri Krishna, Lord Mahadeva told Parvati Sri Krishna had 16,000 queens, among whom Satyabhama, Kalindi, Maitreyavinda, etc., were prominent. King Satyajit had a priceless diamond named Syamantak, which he had presented to his younger brother Prasena. Sri Krishna was fascinated by that diamond and demanded it from Prasena, which he refused to part with. One day, Sri Krishna along with Prasena and other Yadavas went into the forest for hunting. While chasing a deer, Prasena seceded from his group and was killed by a lion. The lion took the diamond and started playing with it. Incidentally, Jambavan, who had once fought along with Sri Rama against Ravana, saw the lion playing with the diamond. He killed that lion and took the diamond in his possession. When Sri Krishna returned to Dwarka, he was surprised by a strange rumor, which pervaded the whole city. Some people suspected that Sri Krishna had killed Prasena for the diamond. Sri Krishna was very much disturbed by this baseless rumor. To clear the doubts, he went into the forest accompanied by all the residents of Dwarka and showed the dead body of Prasena, which was still lying there. When people saw the mutilated corpse of Prasena, which bore marks of the lion's claws and canines, they became convinced of Sri Krishna's innocence. While returning back to Dwarka, Sri Krishna saw an effulgent cave. Sri Krishna was very surprised and wanted to find out the source of light. He entered the cave and saw Prasena's diamond hanging on top of a cradle, in which a child was lying. A woman was singing a lullaby so that the child falls asleep. The lion killed Prasena while Jambavan killed the lion and acquired this diamond from its possession. O child! Don't cry, as this priceless diamond belongs to your father. Sri Krishna furiously blew his conch. Jambavan came out from the cave after listening to the sound of the conch. A fierce duel took place between them, which continued for 10 days. At last, Jambavan realized that the person against whom he was fighting was none other than Sri Rama himself. Jambavan then gave his daughter Jambavati to Krishna in marriage and gave lot of wealth as dowry, including that Syamantak diamond. Bhadraraj had 3 daughters-Sulakshamana, Nagnajiti, and Susheela. Sri Krishna had married all 3 of them in a swayamvara. This way, Sri Krishna had altogether 8 prominent queen consorts: Rukmini, Satyabhama, Kalindi, Maitreyavinda, Jambavati, Nagnajiti, Sulakshamana, and Susheela. There lived a mighty demon named Narakasura. He had defeated the deities and snatched the divine earrings of Aditi, the mother of deities. He had created an aerial city in which he lived along with other demons. The deities went to Sri Krishna and sought his help. Sri Krishna flew up in the sky mounted on the back of Garuda. Satyabhama was also accompanying him. Sri Krishna was amazed to see the well-fortified palace of Narakasura. When the demons saw Sri Krishna, they attacked him, but Sri Krishna challenged them by blowing his conch. Narakasura came forward to fight Sri Krishna. A fierce battle took place in which Sri Krishna broke Narakasura's bow with his arrows. Ultimately, Sri Krishna was successful in killing Narakasura. Sri Krishna then returned the whole wealth to the deities, which Narakasura had looted from them. He also liberated 16,000 women whom Narakasura had imprisoned. After being liberated, all the women accepted Sri Krishna as their husband. Anirudha marries Yushur. Lord Mahadeva continued with the divine tales of Sri Krishna. O Parvati! Sri Krishna had a son from Rukmini whose name was Anirudha. Anirudha was very brave and had killed a demon named Shambhaja. There is an interesting tale how Anirudha married Yushur. Once, Yushur, the daughter of Banija, saw a very handsome young man in her dreams. She was so infatuated by his handsome personality that she developed a deep desire of marrying him. When she woke up next morning, She expressed her desire to her companion, Chitralka. Chitralka was an accomplished painter. She drew a sketch of a handsome man as per the descriptions of Yushur. When the painting was ready, Chitralka revealed to Yushur that the person who she had seen in her dream was none other than Anirudha. Chitralka had divine powers. She went to Dwarka and abducted Anirudha while he was asleep. She then carried Anirudha and laid him on the bed of Yushur. When Yushur woke up, she was thrilled to see the man of her dreams. Anirudha remained there for many days without Banajur being aware of his presence. One day, Banajur came to know about Anirudha's presence. He became furious and imprisoned Anirudha. Sage Narada informed Sri Krishna about Anirudha's imprisonment. Sri Krishna went to fight a battle against Banajur and release Anirudha from his imprisonment. Although Sri Krishna was leading a large army and was accompanied by mighty warriors like Baldeva and Padma, yet he was aware that it was not easy to fight Banajur, who had 1,000 arms and whom Lord Shiva had vowed to protect. A fierce battle commenced between the armies of Sri Krishna and Lord Shiva. The battle remained indecisive for a long time. Meanwhile, Banajur came forward to fight against Sri Krishna. Very soon Sri Krishna severed all the 1,000 hands of Banajur with his chakra. Lord Shiva then requested Sri Krishna to spare Banajur's life and said, "Banajur has received the boon of immortality from me. Now, only you can protect the dignity of my boon given to him." Sri Krishna spared Banajur's life. Banajur then agreed to marry his daughter to Anirudha. This way Anirudha married Yushur with great fanfare. The decline of Yadu Dynasty. Parvati was listening to the divine tales of Sri Krishna with rapt attention. Lord Mahadeva told Parvati, "Pandrak was the king of Kashi. He did an austere penance for 12 years to please me. When I appeared before him, he requested me to make his appearance look like Sri Krishna. I blessed him with an appearance similar to that of Sri Krishna. People became confused as to who the real Krishna was. One day, Narada arrived at Kashi and castigated Pandrak by saying that his intention of befooling people would not meet success as long as real Krishna was alive. Pandrak went to Dwarka with a large army and challenged Sri Krishna for a duel. Sri Krishna severed the impersonator's head with his chakra. Meanwhile, Jarasan continued to torment the Yadavas. Sri Krishna decided to settle the matter for once and all. He advised Bhima to challenge Jarasandh for a wrestling bout. Jarasandh and Bhima fought valiantly for 27 days. While both of them were fighting, Sri Krishna signaled Bhima to tear apart Jarasandh's thighs. After the killing of Jarasandh, Sri Krishna released all the kings who had been imprisoned by him. After the Great War of Mahabharata had ended, Yudhishthira decided to perform a Rajasuya Yaja at Indraprastha. Sri Krishna also went there to bless the Pandavas. Shishupal was also present at the ceremony. He had an old grudge against Sri Krishna and started abusing him. Initially Krishna tried to overlook his abuses, but when situation went beyond repair, Sri Krishna severed his head with his chakra. Dantavakra attacked Mathura to avenge the death of Shishupal. A long battle was fought at the bank of river Yamuna, which continued for many days. Ultimately, Sri Krishna was successful in killing Dantavakra with his mace. There was a childhood friend of Sri Krishna whose name was Sudama. He was a poor Brahmin. Once, he went to meet Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna, being an incarnation of the Almighty, immediately understood the precarious situation his poor friend was living in. He blessed Sudama, as a result of which he got rid of his poverty and became prosperous. Sri Krishna had 1 crore sons from his 16,000 queens. Padma was his eldest son. The Yadavas dominated the whole earth and had become arrogant after being intoxicated by their power. There is an interesting tale how this powerful Yadava dynasty met their downfall. Once, Some young Yadavas played a prank with sage Kanva, which caused the downfall of the Yadavas. One day, some Yadava children went to the bank of river Narmada, where sage Kanva was doing penance. Samba was one of those Yadava children. He disguised himself as a pregnant woman by keeping a pestle under his clothes. All the Yadava children then went near sage Kanva and asked him as to when was the pregnant woman supposed to deliver a child. Sage Kanva furiously cursed them that the whole clan of Yadavas would be liquidated because of that very pestle. All the children were scarred and told Sri Krishna about the mistake they had made. Sri Krishna ordered that the iron pestle be crushed to powder and be thrown into a pond. But that was not the end of the matter, as long reeds grew all around the pond. The reeds had very sharp edges. A fish swallowed the part of that iron pestle and was subsequently caught by a fisherman, who retrieved that iron piece from the fish and fixed it on the top of his arrow. In course of time all the Yadavas developed enmity among themselves and killed each other with those sharp-edged reeds. Once, Sri Krishna was taking rest under the shade of Kalpa tree. The fowler mistook his pink foot to be that of a deer and pierced it with his arrow. When the fowler arrived at the spot he found Sri Krishna in an injured condition. The fowler regretted his action and begged for Sri Krishna's pardon. Sri Krishna consoled the fowler by saying that he had committed no crime. Meanwhile, Dwarka arrived there on his chariot. Sri Krishna instructed Dwarka to call Arjuna as soon as possible. Arjuna arrived at the site within a short time. Sri Krishna told Arjuna, "Their time for my final departure has arrived. Please call all my 8 queen consorts." Arjuna rushed towards Dwarka to summon the queens, but Sri Krishna had already left for his heavenly abode before he could come back with the queens. Arjuna informed the queens about Sri Krishna's injury. In a short time the news spread like a wildfire and all the residents of Dwarka rushed towards the site of incident. After reaching there, the 8 queens of Krishna found that their beloved husband had already departed. All of them gave up their lives and united with Sri Krishna. The great Yadavas like Vasudha, Ugrasena and Akrura followed suit. Balarama could not bear the sorrow caused by Sri Krishna's separation and he gave up his life. His wife Revati entered the burning pyre with her husband's body in her lap. Similarly all the rest of Sri Krishna's family members like Rukmi's daughter, Padma, Yashoda and Anirudha left for heavenly abode. Arjuna performed the last rite of all the dead Yadavas. Eventually, Dwarka got submerged into the ocean. Thus, Sri Krishna, after having liberated the earth from all the sinners, left his mortal body. After completing his story, Lord Mahadeva told Parvati that Sri Krishna takes incarnation whenever there is predominance of sin or sinners. He also revealed to her that Sri Krishna would incarnate as Kalki at the fag end of Kali Yuga to liquidate the mlechas. Rituals of Vishnu worship. Describing about the rituals connected with the worship of Lord Vishnu, Lord Mahadeva told Parvati, a devotee can worship Lord Vishnu by making his idol. This mode of worship is known as stapita, installation of an idol. There are also some sacred places related with Lord Vishnu which are called Swayamvarkata, self-manifested, like Indradhamasrova, Kamastan, Kashi, Prag, Dwarka, Naimisharanya, Mathura etc. In all these holy places, Lord Vishnu had manifested himself. A devotee should get up early in the morning and perform a Kaman. He should then chant the holy name of Lord Vishnu. He should take his bath and sit down to worship Lord Vishnu. A devotee should install idols of Lakshmi Narayana on a beautiful pedestal and adorn it with flowers. He should then make offerings of various articles like akshat, fruits, flowers, etc., to the deity. While worshipping, it is most necessary that a devotee follows the rituals as mentioned in the ancient scriptures like Shruti, Smriti, Vedas etc., He should chant the shlokas of PURANA11 as well as the cryptic mantra for the accomplishment of Shuddhishapaka. He should light a ghee lamp and make offerings of articles like camphor and betel leaves to Lord Vishnu. While making offerings in the sacrificial fire, chanting of a shloka either from PURANA11 or Sri Rama is mandatory. There are some specific days which are considered to be specially auspicious for the worship of Lord Vishnu: Amavasya, Saturday, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, etc. Lord Vishnu, the Almighty God. Describing about the superiority of Lord Vishnu among the trinity of Gods, Sage Vashishtha narrated the following tale. During ancient times, Swayambhuva Manu had once gone to Mandarakal mountain to perform a yajna. Many scholars and learned men had come to attend that yajna. Very soon, they got into a debate as to who was the supreme among all the deities. Some of them eulogized the greatness of Brahma, while some said that Lord Shiva was the greatest of all the deities. Failing to come to any conclusion, all of them requested Sage Bhrigu to find out as to who was the greatest among the trinity of gods. Sage Bhrigu went to meet Lord Shiva at Kailash mountain. He saw Nandi standing guard at the main entrance. Sage Bhrigu arrogantly ordered Nandi to inform Lord Shiva of his arrival. Nandi refused to comply with Bhrigu's command. Sage Bhrigu cursed Lord Shiva by saying, "Your master, Shiva, would bear the consequences of showing disrespect to me." From today onwards people would make offerings of forbidden articles to him. Sage Bhrigu then went to meet Lord Brahma. After reaching Brahma Loka, he made salutations to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma also did not give any respect to Sage Bhrigu and neglected him. Sage Bhrigu became furious and cursed Lord Brahma, "Being intoxicated by your yajna, you have shown disrespect to me. From today onwards people will not worship you." Sage Bhrigu then went to meet Lord Vishnu at his abode Kshirosagar. He did not have any problem in reaching the place where Lord Vishnu was taking rest on Sheshnag, engrossed in his yoganidra. Goddess Lakshmi was pressing Vishnu's legs with total devotion. Sage Bhrigu kicked Lord Vishnu on his chest. Lord Vishnu woke up and seeing Sage Bhrigu said, "O great Brahmin, your tender foot must have got hurt because of my chest, which is as hard as Vajra. How blessed I am to have been touched by a Brahman's foot." Lord Vishnu got up and eulogized Sage Bhrigu. This gesture of Lord Vishnu made Sage Bhrigu cry in joy. Now, he was convinced as to who was the supreme among all the three deities. Sage Bhrigu returned to Mandarakal mountain where all the sages were anxiously waiting for him. He declared, "Lord Brahma is the possessor of Rajoguna, while Lord Shiva possesses Tamoguna. Only Lord Vishnu is the proud possessor of Sattvaguna, and hence he is the supreme among all three of them." After finishing his tale, Sage Vashishtha told the sages that anybody who worships Lord Vishnu with complete faith and total devotion become liberated from all his sins. A devotee of Lord Vishnu attains to Vishnu Loka after his death. Parashurama. Describing Lord Vishnu's incarnation as Parashurama, Lord Mahadeva told Parvati, Sage Jambavan came from the lineage of Bhrigu. He had pleased Indra by his tremendous penance and received Zurabhikau in return. In course of time he married the daughter of King Renuka, whose name was Renuka. A child was born to them, who was named Rama by Sage Bhrigu. The child was also known as Jamaganya because of Jamdani. After growing up, Rama became proficient in all the scriptures. He also mastered various weaponaries. One day, the king of Hayaya named Arjuna arrived at the hermitage of Jamdani. Sage Jamdani treated the king with due honor and respect. He presented numerous gifts to the king. Arjuna wanted nothing else but the Zurabhikau from Sage Jamdani, which he was unwilling to part away with. Ultimately, Arjuna forcibly took away the divine cow. The cow was unwilling to go along with Arjuna and she attacked his army with her sharp horns. As a result, Arjuna's whole army was liquidated within no time. The revengeful Arjuna killed Jamadagni. At the time of this incident, Rama was not present in the hermitage. Rama wanted to avenge his father's death and did a tremendous penance to please Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu became pleased by his devotion and presented many divine weapons to him. The weapons included the famous axe Pasu and Vishnuf bow. After acquiring Pasu from Lord Vishnu, Rama became famous as Parashurama. He had vowed to kill all the Kshatriyas, which he did only. The clan of Ikshvaku was spared by him as he had promised his mother that he would not harm Ikshvaku and his clan. After freeing the earth from the terror of Kshatriyas, Parashurama performed an Ashwamedha Yajna and donated his whole kingdom to the Brahmins. He then went to do penance at the hermitage of Nalnaran.